Hey guys, welcome to Voice Bootcamp. This is Faisal Khan, and in this video, we're going to talk about the concept. Now, one of the most important thing about learning about any sort of cloud contact center or on-premise contact center is to get familiar with the terminology. So here, we're going to discuss about telephony, what is chat, task, routing profile, what is considered to be a standard queue versus priority queue. We'll look at queue-based routing as well as channel and contact flow. Amazon Connect enables you to create a very powerful omni-channel contact center on the cloud without any initial investment. You can get a contact center up and running in a matter of 5 minutes without having to pay a single dime. A contact center that provides a unified experience across multiple channels such as voice, chat, as well as tasks. You can use the same routing profile, queues, contact flow, metrics, report for all these three channels as we just talked about. It allows our managers to monitor all the channels from a single dashboard and give the agent in the ability to handle all the customer from one single interface. If a customer interaction starts with a chat, for example, they can move to a voice call using the same interface as they initially received the chat from. Agent can handle a voice call. The call has the complete chat transcript, so as in case when they're talking to that customer, they will have all the history behind that as well. Now you can create a very highly personalized experience for your customers using omni-channel communications, and separate channel can be configured as well. For example, some agent could be only handling the chat while other agent could be handling voice contact and some other could be handling just email. So the first thing you have to understand is a telephony portion of any contact center. Somehow the call has to come in, and this is where the telephony comes into play. Now, if you're someone coming from Cisco environment, such as you probably dealt with Cisco Call Manager or CUCM. If you're coming from a Avaya background, Avaya Office, for example, is one of the IP telephony features. Amazon Connect does not provide IP telephony for regular Office use at this moment. However, Amazon Connect does provide a variety of choices that enables your company to make and receive telephony calls. One of the great advantage of Amazon Connect is that AWS will manage the telephony infrastructure rather, such as your connection with the carrier, redundancy, the routing, as well as the scalability. However, what you cannot do with Amazon Connect telephony is that you cannot assign an IP phone to an individual with an extension and various features that you are used to with Call Manager or Avaya. Amazon Connect telephony basically is just for carrier to route a call when they dial your toll-free number into your environment and then go into the contact center section of the services. So the telephony Amazon Connect basically deals with the architecture itself, such as all the backend connection with AT&T, Sprint, or whatever they may be that they want to connect. It also deals with the toll-free number. Now, toll-free numbers are mostly available in North America and some part of the Europe. However, not every country currently supports toll-free number. It does, however, also handle the local DID, the telephone numbers that are belong to its specific cities or countries. Now, it is possible, again, not in every cases, that you can port some of your existing telephone number into Amazon Connect, but you must follow a procedures to achieve that functionality. You can also use different configuration from different part of the what do you call contact center. Now, when it comes to telephony architecture, Amazon Connect provides the capability to host both toll-free and direct dial-in numbers known as DID, basically a local telephone number directly attached to your organization, either to an individual or to a contact center. Now, all the region currently does well. DID and the toll-free numbers are supported in all the region that supported by the Amazon Connect. However, keep in mind, Amazon Connect is not supported in all the region. It is only supported in certain countries. Now, you can use both type of numbers in a single instance, and you can have more than one numbers assigned to it. So a complete list of supported countries, region, and the cost can be available on is available on the Amazon Connect web-based pricing page. Amazon manage or AWS will manage the connectivity to our network of carriers that are provided diverse connection to multiple carriers in different regions. For example, Amazon may have some sort of integration with AT&T, maybe Sprint, maybe British Telecom, maybe India BSNL, Singapore Singtel. Many carrier provider around the globe have some sort of partnership with AWS, and they provide the connectivity with the AWS telephony architecture. When Amazon Connect is deployed in a region, we take advantage of the built-in redundancy of your availability zone. So Amazon Connect is deployed in a high availability by using the AZ design of your AWS. Now, if you're not familiar with AWS availability zone design, please take a look at the solution architect course of AWS to learn more about that functionality. Now, the toll-free numbers are telephone numbers that distinct prefix code that usually starts with 800, 877, 866, etc. This type of numbers does not cost the caller any money when they're making the call. However, it does cost the company who owns the toll free number. For example, if I have a toll free number, which I do, 866-777-0060, when you call that number, I get charged for it per minute or per monthly basis, depending on the type of agreement that I have. In United States, the FCC, Federal Communication Commission, provides the rule for obtaining and using these toll-free numbers. In other countries, they have a similar organization that is responsible for that. Now, AWS manages all the toll-free number as a responsible organization or REST or ORG. When you claim or port a number into AWS, we register that number with something known as SOMOS, which is basically deals with all the number that you owned by the AWS. Once that number is registered, we are then able to select multiple carrier to provide both route and carrier redundancy. Now, this provides the highest level availability to ensure that the number will remain available in the case of one service provider goes down. So the Amazon Connect basically owns those toll-free number. Because if a toll-free number belongs to, let's say, service provider A, and I am AWS, for example, well, what happens if the service provider A goes down? In that case, service provider A will not be able to send calls for the toll-free number. Now, if I own the number and I told both of my service provider A and B that these are the number that belongs to me. When you see this number, you forward it to my direction. Then there is a redundancy, very similar to how IP addressing works. So Amazon Connect or AWS will manage that redundancy to ensure that the dependency of a single service provider does not affect your reachability or your ability to communicate with your client. Now, the direct inward dial are usually considered to be a local number or often known as DID. Also, they are called direct dial-in or DDI in Europe. It's basically a telecommunication service offered by your telephone companies to the subscriber. Now, the DID numbers provide a locally formatted number is usually in a 10-digit format. Of course, if you're in North America. If your Amazon Connect is in Singapore or different countries, then the numbering format might be slightly different. In US, the DID numbers are regulated by the state public utility commissions. DID numbers are managed by a single carrier. Now, while they are portable, they cannot be load balanced or managed across multiple carriers. So if you want a number that is load balanced and ensure that it will be available during an outage, then it makes sense to have a toll-free. But if you have a local DID number, then the Amazon cannot guarantee that the service provider outage will not affect your communications ability. Now, claiming numbers in Amazon. Amazon Connect provides you the ability to claim both direct inward dial and toll-free numbers, and in certain countries, not everyone. Porting of numbers refer to the ability to move an existing telephone number from your current carrier into AWS. Now, in order for you to do that, you have to follow certain rules and certain procedures that will regulate the process of moving that number. Now, in some cases, it is possible that your toll-free number may not be able to move into AWS Connect. For example, my current telephone number that I have, which is with Ring Central, and for some reason, I was not able to move that number to AWS and even to Microsoft Office 3, Microsoft Team, for whatever reason it is. I'm still trying to work with my provider to see if I can move the number, but there are certain numbers that cannot be moved. Now the chat. A lot of contact centers are now providing a capability for customers to engage with the agent using a web chat. Now, if you ever worked with Voice Bootcamp, by going to elearning.voicebootcamp.com, and if you have any interest in our product and you want to communicate with us, you could either call the toll-free number or you could chat with us using the web chat capability. Amazon Connect provides that capability as well. The chat feature of Amazon Connect enables your customer to start chatting with a contact center agent from any of your business application or web or mobile applications. Interactions are asynchronous, enables the customer to start a chat with an agent or a bot. Now, bot, we'll talk about that later in the course. Now, typically, an agent will have a single user interface or agent desktop, we often call it, which will help the customer both using the voice as well as chat. So it is possible that I can communicate with one customer using the voice call while I am chatting with another customer using the web chat. This reduces the number of tools an agent usually need to learn and number of screens that they have to move back and forth in order to deal with both clients. Because I am dealing with both clients using the same interface, maybe I'm on the phone while I'm talking and I'm chatting with a different side of the screen. So this way, I don't have to move away from current application to another application just to handle the chat part of it. Chat activities integrate with your existing contact center flows and the automation that you built for the voice. You build your flows, which is called the script, and reuse them across multiple channels. Likewise, for metric collection and dashboard that you build, they are automatically benefited from unified metric across multiple channels. Now, Amazon Connect Chat is charged on a per use basis. There are no required upfront payment or long-term commitment for that, or even minimum monthly fee. You pay per chat basis. Now, the task. Often, when an agent is communicating with a customer, they may need to initiate a task to complete later time. A task is a unit of work that an agent must complete. For example, you call, for a product information. Let's say you want to register for CCNP collaboration training, and you talk to me and you say, "Hey, Faisal, can you send me an invoice?" Now, if I'm an agent, while I'm talking to you, I might create a task by creating create new task where I might remind myself to send you an invoice by end of today's business day. Now, you may ask, well, why can you not send the invoice while you're with the customer? Well, maybe because I may need an approval from my management to get a further discount. Maybe I need to create a proposal. Maybe I need to get an approval for a particular offer. Many different reasons where I may have to deal with that after I hang up the call with the client. Agent handles the task using their contact control panel or web interface. Again, just like any other contact. When you assign a task, agent will see a notification with a description of the task of what needs to be done, so that agent can be reminded. Amazon Connect Task allows you to prioritize, assign track, as well as automate any sort of task that cross your separate different tools that agent can use to support their customers. When a call comes into Amazon Connect, you need to figure out a way to route that call. And this is where the routing profile comes into play. A routing profile will determine the type of contact an agent can receive or route and their routing priority. each agent will be assigned to a routing profile. And a routing profile can have a multiple edge agent assigned to them. Amazon Connect will then use the routing profile to allow you to manage your contact at a very high scale. To quickly change what group of agent does, or you can only need to make a change to that routing profile that will automatically apply to every single agent. For example, a routing profile might say that it supports these queues. You may add 2 queues in there, level 1 and level 2. Maybe 5 months down the road, you realize that you have to add level 3. Well, in that case, instead of applying it to each individual agent, you just simply apply the level 3 queue into the routing profile, which will get applied to all the agents that are associated with that profile. So it makes life easier for updating and adding more features. In a contact center, when an agent is not available or agent needs to be selected, it has to select a queue. Agent was selected from either a standard queue or an agent queue, depending on how you create your environment. Standard queue is where a contact will wait before the call is routed to or accepted by an agent. Agent queue are queue that are automatically created when you add an agent. So if I create an agent called Faisal, that means it will automatically create a queue called Faisal. So you could send the calls to only Faisal's queue. That means the call will wait in the queue only for me to answer the call. Contacts that are routed to an agent queue when explicitly sent to as a part of the contact flow. For example, you may have a VIP customer, or maybe you have a certain number of customers assigned to Faisal. Whenever those customer calls in, their call will go to Faisal, right? That's the reason why you need to send the calls to an agent queue. Contacts that are waiting in an agent queue always have a higher priority. So that means if I am a part of a standard queue and I have an agent queue based on my name, if there's a call waiting in an agent, my own personal queue, as well as the standard queue, I will receive and serve the customers from the agent queue first before I start receiving calls from the standard queue. So these are sometimes you have to make a decision. Do you want to send the calls to standard queue or agent queue directly? So you could say that, well, if these are VIP customer, send them to the agent queue. Any other case, send them to the standard queue. Now it might come back to me in both cases, except the difference is that I will receive the VIP customer first before I start receiving calls from the standard queue. When a call comes into queue, by default, they all have a same priority. Now you can assign what the priority is depending on how you want, but you have the same priority in a case. For example, here I have a queue called sales and support, but the priority is different. If I belong to both queue, sales and support, and I have a priority 1 for sales, priority 2 for support, I will receive a call from the sales queue first, okay? Because I have a priority there. So priority and delay are most powerful features that allows you to load balance the contact among your group of agents. So in this example one group of agent is assigned to a sales routing profile. Now, since their primary job is sales queue will have a priority of 1 with a delay 0. But if they can help the support too, because some salespeople may be able to help the support team as well. But so in that case, their queue priority for the support will be 2 and the delay is 0. If there is no contact sitting in the sales queue, only then the call will come to me from the priority queue. However, in the case of example number 2, where I have same priority but different delay. So in this scenario, support queue has a priority of 1. Sales also have a priority of 1, but the support has a delay of 30 seconds. So in this case, the agent will always get contacts from the sales queue first because of the delay being 0. However, when a contact in the support queue has been waiting for 30 seconds or more, then it will also be treated as a priority 1. The agent will then present it with a contact from the support queue as well. So in that scenario, after 30 seconds, any call coming into sales and support, it will just go round robin fashion because they both have the same priority. But initially, the contact has to wait in the queue for 30 seconds. In example number 3, where you have tier 1 and tier 2, priority 1, with delay 0, tier 3 and tier 4 with a priority 2 and 3 respectively, with a delay of 20 and 80 respectively. Now, how is this going to route the call? In this routing profile, you prioritize the tier 1 and tier 2 support queue equally because each will have a priority of 1. Agent may take a call from tier 3 support queue when under the following condition. Customers has been waiting in the tier 3 for at least 20 seconds or longer, and there is no contact or waiting in tier 1 and tier 2. Now, agent may take a call from tier 4 queue when customers are waiting in the tier queue for 80 seconds or longer, and there is no contact waiting in a tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 support queue. So this is where the priority and delay can be useful to decide which call will take higher precedence. So again, example number 3, when a call comes, an agent can take a call from tier 1 or tier 2 at any given time in any conditions because both have equal queue, equal priority. But agent will only take a call from tier 3 if there is, first of all, no calls in tier 1 and tier 2, and the calls that are in tier 3 has been waiting in the queue for 20 seconds or longer. Same thing with 4, except that there cannot be any call in tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. And the call has to be waiting in the queue for at least 80 seconds or longer. Now, what happened when, in example number 4, where all the queue calls are same priority and same delay? In this case, routing profile only has 2 queue, and they have the same priority, same delay. For this routing profile, oldest contact is routed first, so longest idle. It goes to the agent who has been idle for the longest period of time. So if you look at just between these two, when the call comes in, it will go to 1 or 2. You can receive a call from 1 or 2 depending on whichever call is whichever queue has been waiting for the longest. So longest idle time, it becomes a tiebreaker. Now, in some businesses, you might want to route customers to specific agent based on certain criteria, and such as skills of the agent. This is often called queue-based routing, also known as skills-based routing. In airline industry, for example, you might have some agent who can handle the reservation for English-speaking customer, but others who can handle Spanish-speaking customer. And the third group can handle both type of customers, but only over the phone. So this is where you can create the skills-based routing concept. Again, we'll talk more details about the queue-based routing and agent-based routing into our respective chapters. Now, when it comes to channel, remember we talked about the omni-channel part, that agent can be available concurrently on voice, chat, task, all at the same time. However, how many simultaneous calls that are allowed will depend on your concurrent configuration. For example, you might create a policy that says an agent can only receive one voice call because you cannot serve 2 customers at a time. It will be very unprofessional if you to do that. So 1 voice call, but up to 2 chat and 10 tasks. So this way, you can allocate how many number of call communications or contact can go to an agent based on each number of channels. If agent accepts a chat first, up to 10 chat will be routed to them, but no voice call or chat. You can also configure if you need to do that. Once they are done with the chat, they are available for the next contact, which could be either voice or chat or task. Again, to learn more about that, look at the deployment guide for contact control panel or CCP for handling your multiple chat. If you are working with any sort of contact center prior to coming to the cloud, you know that you have to write scripts. In a contact center, a script basically follows the business rules or regulations. Here, you got what we call is a contact flow. The contact flow is basically your IVR script that handles the call flow from the moment the customer calls in to the moment that the customer call has been answered by agent or purpose has been served. Now, you can give a customer a set of menu options route the customer to agent based on what they enter on their phone, as well as based on where they're calling from. So in Amazon Connect, you use the flow designer to create a flow. Now, seems like when everything is coming from on-premise to cloud, most of the cloud contact center provider often call their script a flow. So same thing here, Amazon Connect Flow Designer allows you to create those flow in order to route your calls from the moment you answer the call to all the way till the customer is answered. Now, using a contact designer, you can set the working queue, check for office hours, transfer calls to queue, play a welcome prompt, disconnect, or hang up the call. All right, so this is the overview concept that you need to understand about Amazon Connect. You need to understand what is routing profile means, what does it mean for having multiple concurrency channels, what does it mean to have create a task or chat options. All right, so that's it for this particular video, and until then, I will see you in the next video.